Welcome back to DC Beer Show, everybody. We are DCBeer.com, at DC Beer across social media. Brandy, so nice to see you. What are you drinking this evening?
Hi, Jake. Hey, everybody. What I'm not drinking is all of the Snally beers that I was drinking. Sadly, Snally's over. But right now, well, not currently right now, but earlier, I drank a pumpkin spiced brown ale, PSB, from my dear friends over at Streetcar 82. It is a whopping 5.8%. Yeah, you heard that. And you know how I feel about brown ales, so I'm pretty happy. What are you drinking, Mr. Stein?
Well, Miss Brandy, I'm drinking Ancho Kintz. It's an easy, short name, Kintz. Gorgeous, deep flavor. Beautiful botanical gin thing going on. I honestly thought of you, Brandy, when I was trying this, because I was like, ooh, this is kind of forest flory for me, but I bet Brandy would love this. But it's dry cider, and it's truly dry, and it reminds me of like Happy Trees, the Sidra Verde. It's that classic back to the well we go, the Izastegui, the other Bosque Sidra names I can't remember right now, but it's just wonderfully dry. And as a person with diabetes, it's only 4 grams of carbohydrates per 12 ounces, which, you know, save like an Izastegui cider, which has 0 grams of carbohydrates per whatever ounces. It's pretty remarkable. Jordan, what are you imbibing this fine evening?
So I've yet to get over the fact that Snally is gone. So shout out to NRG and the folks over at Blue Jacket having their flagship tonight. Lost Weekend, the Citra IPA, 7%. Got to do something local for the folks. Jake, what's your take? What are you having?
Jordan, I am going to have to agree with you because I have here Blue Jacket's Relentless, which is a 7% hazy IPA hopped with, Jordan, you and my favorites, Nectaron, as well as a little bit of Mosaic.
Yes.
Proceeds from 4-pack cans of this beer, as well as buying it on draft at Blue Jacket and other NRG spots, go to support Planned Parenthood because abortion access is DCAF. So thank you, Blue Jacket, the NRG team for Snally. Thank you also for these beers. All right. Before we get into the stuff, this upcoming Sunday is Denizen's last day in Silver Spring. That kind of sucks. And hopefully we will see some of you there.
Yeah, for sure on Friday tonight. I have solicited all of my fellow nerds to participate in a game night at Denizen's just for the last hurrah. I'm not sure how many games we'll actually play because I'm sure it's going to be packed, but we're going to at least try to do so. So if you see a group of nerds huddled with a Catan board, it is I. Come by and say hello. Anything else fun going on this weekend? Halloween is just around the corner. You guys tracking anything?
Halloween's the best holiday. I was so busy with Snally that I actually haven't even decorated for Halloween yet, but I know that there are a lot of Halloween things going on. There's stuff going on at Atlas and DC Brow, but I'm pretty sure there's a huge blowout over at BabyCat, right?
Oh yeah, it is their anniversary or Hallowversary. It's the largest costume party Kensington has ever had, and they have beers to complement largest party. So definitely, if you are looking for something to do a week from, well, actually next Saturday, not even a week from today, a week and a day, 8 days from today. At the time, this is October 20th. I had a great conversation with the folks over at BabyCat Brewery, my fellow Marylanders. I have Terry, Sam, and Phil. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing really well.
Great, Jordan. Yeah, having a good day.
Most folks have heard about BabyCat, but for those that haven't heard about BabyCat, Terry, I'm wondering if you could give the folks a spiel. Who is BabyCat? Where are you guys at? And what do you guys do?
So we are located in the town of Kensington, and we've been open a hair under a year now. And we're a community brewery. Phil Zanello is our head brewer, and And the vision, the concept, and the the mood of BabyCat has all been driven by Sam Mussomeli, who I guess the better parts of 3 years ago reached out to me. We had a relationship before. We'd worked together in the past, and kind of when the pandemic came about, Sam really wanted to kind of down the road, maybe 4 or 5, 6 years down the road, start a brewery. And so he was coming to me for advice. I had kind of a little bit of a mentor relationship with him, and we started kind of working through some scenarios. And pretty soon we were meeting weekly. And finally, I'm like, "Are you interested in partnering on this?" And he's like, "That's the only way my wife will let me do this." So that was kind of the beginning. I said we should do it. We should do it big, and we should do it in Kensington. And then at that point, that just launched everything. Kensington was a dry town until really about 2019, when the state granted them 8 alcohol licenses. We were fortunate enough to get the 8th. The location where we're in is a kind of a converted auto repair shop, and it had a big roll-up garage door. It had 2 big windows in the front, and it was kind of tucked away under the railroad tracks in this little kind of obscured area, and it just had this really cool vibe. So we kind of started talking to the landlord about it and told him our vision. We wanted a community brewery. We didn't want to do food. We wanted to, allow patrons to bring their own food, family friendly, welcoming to everybody. And we've just, it's just been completely well received, and like it's been overwhelming. Kind of the support of the community has been tremendous. The support of the town has been incredible. Our first hire was Phil Zanello, who was working as a head brewer or lead brewer, at Lone Oak. But essentially what this is it's Sam's vision, Sam's passion, and we found just a cool little town that I live in Kensington. Phil recently moved to just outside Kensington, and Sam lives right, just outside Kensington. So it's just a really cool spot that it's been really rewarding, and really a pretty awesome project to take on and just see how it's all come about.
Yeah, and definitely like right by the tracks, the space that you guys have and all the hard work you guys put into it. I've been encouraging folks to go out there as often as I can, because me being just outside of Kensington myself, in the Wheaton Silver Spring area, BabyCat is right there. So it's perfect, for me. Sam, turning to you, with this kind of being your love child, it seems to you that you were kind of the initial brains behind the operation. What pieces of yourself have you brought to BabyCat?
Well, the overall kind of vibe of the place, and what the tap room is and what the feel of the place is, was something that I've been planning, unbeknownst to myself, for a long time, probably 8 years. And like Terry said, about 3 years, I started getting real serious. And once I was given the go-ahead to go off on it, I pretty much went off on it. And there's a lot of things that I see that I just, wish other places were. And I feel like I've made our place everything that I felt like those places were kind of lacking. I wanted it as warm and as homey and as inviting and as like you just don't want to leave as possible.
And to that point about it being very homey and not wanting to leave, I've always I think what you guys did with the tap room is just exceptional. So I've been to a number of breweries in my day, and most of them, they just kind of have the standard bar stools, the standard counter, standard taps. They might have a couch, that's a big might, but most times it's just those steel chairs, hard floor, not really that aesthetically pleasing. You guys, on the other hand, have just so much character. So I think you've done an exceptional job with that. I also noticed you guys were building out a brand new deck that I believe is ready now. Is that correct? Is the deck live now, or is it going live soon?
It's pretty live.
Yeah.
It's pretty live right now.
Okay.
It's not approved, but it's pretty live.
It's live. We can't. Don't say the word alive, but live.
Okay.
Yes.
When do you
That's
guys?
too many letters.
When would it be open to the public officially?
We're hoping to get approval this week. So we had to get two kind of components done. We had to get the electrical approved. The electrical done and the electrical approved, and then we had to get the county required this survey, which was incredibly expensive right at the end of the project. So we had a survey company out there today making sure the deck was properly placed on the property line and not infringing on the park property, which is adjacent to our space. So we feel pretty confident that by this weekend we'll have county approval.
Gotcha.
But it should add about 50 seats to the location where we have the patio. Now we have the deck. We have the hidden garden. We have the kind of the lawn and the wood chip area. So we have our outdoor space can probably accommodate close to 150, 170 people, which is pretty awesome.
With a 100-person indoor tap room too.
Yeah, most certainly. Sign me up. I can help approve the deck. Phil, turning to you, with your experience at Lone Oak, were there any particular beers you were excited to brew or like bring to the Kensington area, or was it just more of a we'll keep it safe because this is a pretty dare I say slow town? Like what was your thoughts behind brewing?
Oh no, it's just for BabyCat. I wanted to scrap everything I'd done at Lone Oak, and like I just wanted to use my experience at other places and just brew something that I like and Sam likes and Terry likes, and then at the same time, kind of keeping it with like sections that people haven't experienced yet. So we do like everyone these days. If you go to a brewery, you probably see people doing lagers and then hazy IPAs and then sour beers. And we do have some of those sections or groups available in there, but we also want to do something a little bit different. And we don't just brew something because it sells. We brew something because we like, and then we want the public to experience too. So we do have an alt beer that is something that we felt like it should be like a flagship, and it's really, really good. And we do other beers that breweries don't do, like a rock beer. We have that currently right now. And then we are also like experimenting with like seasonals, and we have a bunch of like one-offs that we're hoping to do in the future. So it'll be like an ongoing. So every time you go to the tap room, you find something new. At the same time, we keep perfecting our recipes and just trying to like as best as we can to provide something that's like super easy drinking. I think almost all of our beers are on the lower ABV side. So if you go in there, you're probably going to find something that you like to drink. Having said that, we have a 15% beer that's coming out next weekend for our anniversary party.
Is that a barley wine you guys are doing? Is that a barrel-aged stout, or what's that look like?
Yeah,
or do people have to come and see? Like, what's the skinny on that one?
What do you think, Sam? Should we tell them, or should they?
Yeah, have at it.
We should tell them.
It's a Russian Imperial Stout.
Oof.
Russian Imperial Stout that we actually, I guess you could say we split the batch. So a portion of it went in the can, straight from the tank, or from the bright, I mean. And then the other portion of it, we oak aged. We aged on some American white oak soaked in whiskey. So it kind of gave it a little bit more like of a dark cherry and a lot of vanilla kind of flavors to it. But it also has like this big chocolatey, roasty backbone. It's really good. It's not really. I don't really drink 15% beers anymore, but I will be drinking this one.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if 15% is a good shift beer to have all day. So I don't blame you. I don't blame you for that. The people want to know, do you guys think you'll ever get into distribution or not? And if not, why not?
So no, that's really, I'll just flat out say it. That's not a goal. It never was from the beginning. There's no desire to take over the world. I forget who it is. Phil might know, but it was a famous, wasn't Sam, but they said it at CBC, where it's a quote that says, "I envision a United States where every small town has its own brewery, and they brew the
I think
beer."
it's Charlie Papazian.
Was it Papazian?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he I think he was kind of that was part of his deal. He wanted it to be kind of an open kind of society, if you will, where people shared all the recipes, and that's happened. And he also wanted to be every little town had their own brewery, which is kind of where we are.
That's kind of a desire for us too, and the town is really kind of taken ownership of the brewery. It's not BabyCat Brewery in Kensington. It's Kensington's brewery to everybody that comes there, which is.
But I will tell you, Jordan, it's a really interesting question, because we even Phil and I were talking about it yesterday. It's just we're having such a good time doing this, and everything you read, everyone you talk to is like, all the enjoyment just floods away as soon as you get into distribution. And the flip side of that is you have people coming in all the time like, hey, we'd love to get your beer down here. We'd love to get your beer here. Sometimes it's, like we're just starting a business where, in millions of dollars of debt. And you kind of think, well, like, let's go down that road. But every time the fallback is, that we're having too much fun to kind of start making work a headache every single day. So like Sam said, and we've been pretty adamant about, we don't want to rule the world. We just like to have a little corner that we've made pretty cool and helped a community to find a meeting place. And so that's what we'll say about that.
Yeah. And I mean, I would say, I think you've succeeded. If earlier this year's St. Patty's Day is any, proof of that concept, or Summerfest. I mean, I think the community there, I think they were starving for that place to go, to have like that neighborhood spot to get great beer. I saw some rumblings on social media about a Halloween party. Is that what's coming up this week? Sam, you've been excited about this for a while. You want to tell us about the Halloween?
It's first of all, it's Sam's favorite holiday. He thinks it's a holiday.
Okay.
So we don't want to tell him any different.
It's not.
It's the 1 year anniversary holiday. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, we were, basically the tap room was ready probably 2 weeks before we opened. So I figured, I asked the town, hey, do you guys ever do a Halloween party? And they said no. And I said, can we claim it? And they said, go ahead. I said, all right, it's on. So, yeah. October 28th, Saturday, we are having a all-day Halloween anniversary. It's our first anniversary, and it will be Halloween weekend every year moving forward. Costumes pretty much recommended or required.
Any prizes for?
Yes, absolutely.
Great question.
Big prizes. Not like, oh, you get a free beer. We're talking 3 figures.
Is that the 15.1%?
3 figures.
Talking 3 figures with a dollar sign in front of it, Jordan. And no decimal point.
Or a gift card.
Or a gift card.
Okay.
Or a gift card with a designated value to it.
Gotcha.
If you put in the decimal point, it's going to be 3 figures.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, with a decimal point, it could be 5. Potentially.
So we are hoping for a big turnout, Jordan. We are so psyched about this event, and Sam has, like, if you spend any time with him, he's going to bring out his previous Halloween costumes that go back, probably 15 years, and he is just every one is like bananas, and he is like all in. So it's I know it's a fun holiday for him. We're super excited to not only have we been open a year, but just to have really Kensington's only Halloween party. And we're gonna have bands there. We're gonna have
Fire trucks
food
coming
trucks.
down.
Yeah, the fire trucks. We'll have things for kids. It'll be it should be an exhausting day for us, but it'll be fun as hell.
All right. Yeah, no doubt. And I'm sure it'll be extra fun for those that drink that 15% Russian Imperial.
Exactly.
So definitely get your hands on that, and keep your eyes peeled to BabyCat Brewery on social media. That's where we can see all the events that they have come down the pipe, as well as the awesome beers that Phil is cranking out. So just to give you guys your flowers for not only bringing a great craft brewery to my area and also to the wonderful state of Maryland, but to also not just sticking with the general mold of hazy IPA Pilsner. I mean, I haven't talked to every brewery in America, but most of the one I've talked to, they don't have a pumpkin beer, an alt beer, a Russian Imperial, a Kolsch, and some hazy IPAs just to complement that on tap. So awesome lineup. Thank you guys for taking some time out of the day to be on the DC Beer Show. Cheers, gents, and have a good night.
Thank you, Jordan. And you've been a great supporter of ours. And this has been this is our first podcast, so it's been super cool. And thanks for inviting us.
You've been a great host.
You've been awesome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks for all the support.
Yeah, happy to have you guys. And I'll continue to support. Keep cranking out the good beer. Definitely make your way to Kensington to support my good friends over at BabyCat. They got some wonderful surprises, and costumes are welcome. So if you have a costume that'll win the day, go prove it. Go to BabyCat for their Halloween party.
Mike, I want to ask you a question, and Jake and Jordan. How much do you miss Snally already? Because I know we did a lot of work, but it was great work, and we didn't do as much work as the NRG people because they freaking crushed it, and they were like a well-oiled machine. But I was so excited, and I mean, honestly, words are escaping me right now. I was so happy about having the DC Beer Stage, seeing everybody join us, not only the panelists, the amazing panelists that we had, but the guests walking by and listening, our friends. And I think we all did a solid job. And I want to say thank you to Greg and Bruno and Tim and Stephanie for having us there. I know that they had a lot of nice things to say as well, but I cannot wait for next year. So if you saw us at Snally, make sure you share those photos with us and give us your feedback on our panel.
Brandy, I got a question to ask you. Truth, are you a chef? Because you keep feeding me soup. I'm cutting onions in here. It's real dusty up in this kitchen right now. I'm just getting a little sniffly thinking about Snally. But I have to give a massive shout out to our friend Amber, the one and only, for making us look good. She just shared on the DC Beer group chat beautiful images that she was shooting on Snally Day, but also Snally Weekend. You'll see those trickling out on social media. Brandy, thank you for making us look so good on IG and across all platforms. But I didn't even notice. I saw, Jordan, you were kicking it with Ale Sharpton and some other notable members of our beer community. And I was just like, damn, I have FOMO. And I was there on Saturday. But, I missed Friday, I missed Sunday. So I'm already missing something that happened not even a week ago when you'll hear this podcast, DC Beer Land.
Freaking ditto. Yeah. Jordan was hanging out with the beery godmother. And I was like, how did I just meet her after Snally? But we were on stage. Jordan was walking around doing his thing and being mingles, which is normally what I do. But I'm glad one of us was doing it. So, second to being thankful for Amber. Love Amber. Love Amber. Love you, Amber.
and truly, I did have the opportunity to mix and mingle, but it was only because you guys put together marvelous panels. So definitely keep monitoring the DC Beer Space. You'll see a lot of, especially if you're subscribed to our Patreon, you'll see a lot of that content come out because the hops panel, the mixed fermentation panel, the women and BIPOC panel, it's just excellent. So, I appreciate that collectively, and really driven by you three wonderful folks. And shout out to Papa Beer as well.
But wait, there's more. I'm here with Jim Buckman from Grow and Fortify talking about the Baltimore Craft Beer Festival. Jim, take it away.
Jake, I really appreciate you having me here. Yeah, we're stoked on the Baltimore Craft Beer Festival this year. Come out and celebrate with us at Canton Waterfront Park on Boston Street in beautiful downtown Baltimore, looking right over the Baltimore Harbor. We've got a really wonderful event planned for Saturday, November the 4th. We'll be having a great time from noon to 5 p.m. at this beautiful park. And the event's going to be a great one. We've got 50 Maryland breweries. We've got some heritage brands like Heavy Seas, the Brewer's Art, Brewer's Alley, brands that have been around for almost 3 decades producing and slinging Maryland beer. We've got some great up-and-comers. We've got brands like Sapwood Cellars joining us, Idiom out of Frederick. And then we've got some really great breweries in planning who are not yet hosting people in their own tasting rooms, but are bringing their beers to market, showcasing what these brands look like and telling you what their future is going to be in the next few years. So really great opportunities to try more than 200 beers from more than 50 breweries. We've got live music throughout the event. We have 3 great live bands, Natalie Brooks Band. We have Joe Keys and the Late Bloomer Band. And then we have a great band called the Derailers that'll be there. We'll have a wonderful guest MC. Our friend Finn, better known as the Poor of Baltimore, will be giving everybody some play-by-play from the main stage, introducing our bands. He'll also have a really fun time this year helping us to announce the winners of the 2023 Maryland Craft Beer Competition. The final judging for that competition takes place at this festival. You get to watch the judges try all of the best-in-class beers that were there, and then we will announce who the overall winner of the competition is. They get a really cool trophy, and they get to show it off with everybody at this great party. And then when you're there, we've got local vendors for you, artisan vendors, different kinds of retailers from around the Baltimore area. And then we've got wonderful food trucks and food tents that'll be there serving up food that everybody wants. We've got 2 tiers of tickets this year. The Beer Geek Festival Pass is available for folks who would like to enjoy an hour and a half of leisurely sampling before the big crowd gets there. You get early access to any kind of limited release or exclusive beers that will be offered. You get an upgraded glass, very nice Belgian glass versus a little sampling glass. And you get the opportunity to rub elbows with folks who are going to be a little bit more pinned down by people asking them questions and telling them how much they love their beer throughout the event. We also have a regular tasting pass that allows guests to come in from 1:30 on to enjoy samples. And all of those details and passes can be found at BaltimoreCraftBeerFestival.com.
We've got one more event coming up for you the same weekend as the Baltimore Craft Beer Festival. The day before that, Friday, November 3rd, is Last Call American Beer in a Changing Climate over at the American History Museum, the Smithsonian. It's going to have some pretty cool special guests, including some beer from Wheatland Spring and guests Andrea Stanley, founder of Valley Malt in Massachusetts, up in Holyoke, Victoria Garza, who is the Latin American sales manager at Yakima Chief Hops in Yakima, Washington. She also is the co-founder of the Migrant Beer Collaboration, which honors the labor and expertise of Mexican hop workers in the Pacific Northwest. Denise Ford Sawadogo from Montclair Brewing Company in Montclair, New Jersey. She and her husband have West African and Caribbean heritage in their backgrounds, which means think of beer with different kinds of grain, fonio, sorghum even, and then perhaps the addition of hibiscus, which we should be familiar with. Also, Morgan Al Crisp, who's one of the co-owners of Seven Clans Brewing in Asheville, North Carolina. It's a woman-owned, Cherokee-owned brewery. So there's going to be small bites as well as 5-ounce samples of beer. But wait, there's more, because Brandy and Jordan, along with some of the folks from the Women's Brew Culture Club, helped pick hops from the Smithsonian Victory Gardens outside the American History Museum. And then DC homebrewers have brewed 2 beers featuring Cascade Nugget and Willamette, damn it, hops. So anyway, we'll put that up on the show notes, but if you go to americanhistory.si.edu, you can get information there. We will definitely see you there as well. We have one more special guest, we sat down in between our Snallygaster panels, our very own Brandy, along with NRG's head of beer, Greg Engert, sat down for a chat. Take it away.
What are the highlights of this year that maybe were different from last year that you are enjoying and maybe want to implement next year?
Every year, this is the 11th year we've done it, we always look at it and say, like, what can we do better? And we send out an email that asks people, like, what do you think? How did it go? And everything else. And some of the things we did this year, it's you might not even notice it, but we put all of the food, like, in the center. We were very deliberate about communicating where it was.
You're getting thumbs up for that.
Tripled the amount of water that we have, and then we were very deliberate about where we put that. We spent extra time talking about how to get people in faster. So for anybody who gets that email that says, like, what would you change? We actually read them, and we do change things based on that. Those were some of the things. But, you know, we're just lucky. Every year, more and more brewers come here. They spend their time and their money to come here and hang out with folks, which I think makes it even more fun, and send us incredible beers that, like, we can't believe we can get. So it's amazing. And adding the DC Beer podcast stage was a dream. You guys are also very responsive and organized.
So that's been, we have a great little team, and we all really are volunteers at DC Beer. We really don't get paid for anything, but we do this because we are big craft beer nerds, and not just nerds, but we are advocates. We know that a lot of work and dedication and love go into making good beer and making a good experience for the beer drinkers. And we recognize that with the Snallygaster every single year.
It's incredible. So many people come out for it still. And of course, it is our single biggest fundraiser for Arcadia, Center for Sustainable Food and Agriculture. Every year, it's a nonprofit that Michael Babin, our founder and CEO, started back in 2011. It does incredible work for food and people in the DC area and beyond. And we're honored to work with them, and it's great. Literally, the money made here goes to them. And some people get that, others don't, but I think it's really important that we talk about that. It's very cool.
Like, I don't think you guys realize, I just learned this morning, that even the merch and everything goes toward our, everything, right?
Yeah, everything left over, yeah. After that's what we do. And it's always been the biggest thing we started. And it's grown, the organization has grown so well. It's been amazing. So, yeah, it's fun to do that. We're really honored to have this. And even just to be at the space, that's the other thing I think people don't realize, is back when it used to rain all the time, we were next to Nats Stadium or in Union Market. Yeah. And now we've been out here for, I think, 5 or 6 years, and we're never going back. It's an incredible place to be.
Everyone, cheers to NRG. Cheers to Snally. Happy Snally, everybody. Happy Snally.
This was great. We'll expand this next year and keep doing it. I just want to say DC Beer has been amazing. Richard, Brandy, you guys do incredible work. Jake and Mike, obviously, and so many other people. We really appreciate what you do. I know it's a labor of love, but it's a big part of this. And I was excited for that. I wanted the brewers here to know about DC Beer and to know that exists in a city. Not every city has an organization like this, and I think it's very special. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Brandy, and thank you, Greg Engert. Thank you so much, Greg Engert and the NRG crew. Also, thank you to Sam, Phil, Terry, and the BabyCat crew. Everybody, trick-or-treat safely. Have a happy, healthy, lovely Halloween. Pair it with candy. Tell us what you like about it. Beer and candy go well together. Add us on social media. We're at DC Beer, dcbeer.com. Be well to each other, everybody. Back at it soon. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.